All right, today is another Youth Worker on Fire. And hey, Youth Worker Nation, this is Doug Edwards. I'm Doug, and those are other guys. That's Mike Ligler, which is the teacher. They call him Mr. Ligler here. And there's Gabby. She's she's the girl. So
she's the president.
Girl.
She's El Presidente.
I'm the president.
She brings the estrogen.
Yeah.
She was the OG
I'm
first lady.
the director of studio.
And then we have
Bear.
Bear. Okay, we have Bear.
I'm the jack of all trades.
The
here.
best boy, if you will.
Best boy.
Best boy.
Best boy.
That's right.
Or
They're
lead
soon to
gaffer,
be
one of the
18,
two.
There'll be men and women, but right now they're just boys and girls.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm that young again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Ligler
you
started
can
teaching
revert
when
back
he
to your
was 3,
Buddha
boy-
days.
Boy genius. Finished college at 2.
Like Dexter.
Have you murdered people yet, though?
Not that Dexter.
Oh.
The cartoon character.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this is the production crew. Now let me tell you. Here's what happened. In fact, what month was it? Do you remember what month I came to you last
It's about May.
school year?
I was gonna say
Same, this,
April.
2016.
April.
I think
Yeah.
it was April.
About the
Maybe the end
month
of April,
before.
probably.
End of April, beginning of May,
Yeah.
when we decided to do this.
Yeah, and in fact, I'd never been a part of Podcast World before. I think I'd listened to maybe 0.01% of a podcast at one time, and
True that.
and then realized that hey, it was something I could do to help some people, help people in youth who are youth workers like you, and but I came to Mr. Ligler. Now, you had said for a couple of years that basically, hey, if you want to do a project, let's do a project. And,
Yeah, definitely.
And what do you guys do for the community? I mean, as far as projects, this is a media production, and
Well, I mean, for the community, we do movies in the park. If people call and ask for us to take pictures of their wedding, we don't really do pictures, but
We'll
We
record
do.
the wedding for them.
worst case scenario, we've done weddings.
Yeah.
We did wedding photography,
Funeral
We
videos.
do
Funeral
stepping out
videos.
for-
We made 3
stepping
of
out
those
for
last
education.
year, right?
3 funeral videos,
Yeah.
stepping out for education.
Any event in the park, we do that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did David did the Pokemon Go event we had a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rubber ducky race.
if there's anything happening locally, we try to cover it, and then we broadcast it thanks to Dr. Anna Marie on Lakefront Television.
there you go, there you go. And as a result, I came to you and I said, "Oh, listen, man, this is near the end of the year. I've got this two-week window. I had this two-week
Right.
window that we could really stack some interviews, and we did. I think we got around 18 in.
Yeah, before we knew
Yeah.
we needed to mic them individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of that still worked. Some of it still worked.
Yeah.
We were able to.
Bear sat
audience.
back there with that audio probably for several hours
Mm-hmm.
trying to clean it up from the original recordings.
Yeah, the lapels in these mics make it a lot easier.
It's
Yeah.
really simplified.
Be smart
Did we use
now.
the boom mic before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to have, and by the way, team is important. I have to have a team. I'm only good at things when I have a team. I used to think I was good doing stuff by myself, but when you finally grow up in life, you realize that really all great things are done with a team.
Yeah.
And so, Mr. Ligler said, hey, we'll get the best of the best. And so what you see here on stage, the
And then
guys
I
back
got
there,
him these.
The worst of the worst
I
right
mean-
there. Is that what it was?
Darn it.
There are
Aw,
feelings
man.
hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
All you have to do is sign a piece of paper for these guys.
That's
Volunteer hours.
volunteer hours.
Yeah.
And then they go for it. So that makes them the best.
But the volunteer hours get them their jobs. I mean,
That's
some
right.
of them
Yep.
have
In
have
college.
found paid work
Yeah.
Yes.
in the area.
Me.
David's the one getting paid.
I
Yeah.
roll burritos for a living.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bag at Publix.
He watches a lot of Netflix.
I teach high school.
There you go.
Whatever it
Poor
was.
guy.
I think who wins here? Burritos.
Burritos.
Right.
Woo.
So I said, hey, can we do this? I know this is going. He said, yeah, let's do it. And so we started experimenting and getting. We got a lot of interviews in, a lot of people in. I was very very happy myself. And by the way, I wrote 50 plus people to get those 18 interviews, and that's really a good percentage.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get anything happening, about 1 to 10% is about all you get.
Well, Doug, I mean, that shows how well connected you are in the area for people to come in and just want to sit down and talk. I was surprised that you knew Quan.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, everybody knows Quan. Quan is a jack of everything, sells this,
He is.
does that,
Yeah.
and everybody knows Quan.
Everybody
So,
knows Quan.
Yeah.
so that was funny.
Yeah, we ran into a lot of people that we both knew. So you guys, and you can speak all at once, you can individually, whatever, but tell me about the beginning of the process. And Gabby, you came in, what, this year, not in the beginning of last year. Were you there, I mean, at the end of last
I
year?
think she was
I
there, like,
came-
discussing it, but me and David, like, started it and worked
was-
on
Yeah,
summer.
it started with me and Bear, and we started out making the intros and
Intros,
the commercials and stuff, and
And we had Madison Bakich also, but she
Oh,
left us last
No,
year.
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Carolyn
Yeah,
Bakich.
yeah.
I named her
Yeah.
older sister. My bad.
Yeah.
It was a
There's a
Bakich.
bakage.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
she
now
left.
she's in New York now.
So
following
we lost
career
her, so we had to
dance.
bring in some more people.
Yeah, I think we tried to
I was
get Delilah. Didn't we try to get Delilah into this?
Tried to get Delilah.
She's like off doing other projects now.
Yeah, we had to move her to other projects, but
Yeah.
so we had to find the people that were able to mostly just be in here for more than one period. That's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and people who know what they're working with and know Doug's goal and know how to accomplish that in the best way.
And in the beginning, we didn't totally talk about the goal. I think we may have gone through it some, but do you guys remember us talking about what the goal was?
Yeah, that's something that I really wanted to know from you straight off the bat, because I wanted to see long run what we wanted for this podcast. And you told me that you wanted to help the people locally or anywhere find out if they really wanted to go into teaching or coaching, and they get to hear our experience to decide that for themselves.
And not even just from the students, from teachers and from people that are volunteering for the schools. And you get to hear that and hear what they've gone through and what they do.
Yeah.
So you can look at it and go, well, I don't know if I can put that much time in.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
We're saving you time.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's some, one of the best podcasts in business, they said, saying yes is really not the best answer, because everything you say yes to, you're saying no to everything else during those periods of time. And so
Right.
yes is a good answer, but it's not always the best answer. Sometimes no is the best answer.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what
Yeah.
my wife says. I'm still trying to learn.
My
Really, I
wife's
mean,
telling me the same thing. So.
yeah.
Well, and you
my
guys,
wife
are
too.
y'all? Is it hard for y'all to say no to things?
It's hard for them to say no to Lig.
Yeah, there's not much we have to say no to, because I
This
want
is
to do
their job
everything
right
that I
now, though.
can.
Go ahead,
Right.
say it again.
I try to do anything I can, because any work is good work at this point.
Any experience where you have to take something and make something out of it, even with minimal equipment, that it's a heck of an
Challenge.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The challenge and like give you a good experience for like a next event.
Even just setting up for a movie in the park, you think it's a small
Oh.
event, but that is.
Yeah, I remember my first movement in the
Yeah.
park. I had no idea what to do. I was out there like, and all these cables were being run, and we had to set up the projector and all this. And that was like my first year here. I didn't really get started until like halfway through. Lig just like, anyone got a truck? And I raised my hand. And
That
he's
was
like,
it.
Yeah.
He's like, truck.
Truck, let's go.
Truck.
You just
Yeah.
follow around Lig and Trent until you kind of know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
you
Yeah,
just follow
yes,
like
yeah,
in Trent and you
yeah.
go,
It
yeah,
takes
when
like
they
a,
ask
takes
questions
like
that
a
aren't
good
directed
year
to
to
you.
Hey,
get used to it.
And with the level ones, I'm trying to convince them that, when we're back here running cables and troubleshooting these problems, just to follow us around
Just watch.
Yes.
and just
please.
watch. That's one of the biggest ways to learn. And that's one of the things that Mrs. Velez says about this class is, she brought another principal from another school in here, and we were in here, the studio's in shambles, and everything's not working.
When
But
isn't it?
it's me coaching a bunch of kids to fix the problems. It's not me doing it all. She goes, see, they're troubleshooting, but it's not Mr. Ligler troubleshooting, it's the kids troubleshooting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do some of it, and when they can't figure it out, then we sit down and we talk about it, but we come to a resolution usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this is the perfect setting. Here's something I've learned, and today I was even listening to a guy by the name of Seth Godin, and Seth, I believe, was before there was AOL, there was this other thing, and that was Seth. In fact, he talked about basically losing $1 billion, and he's the guy that people listen to, on starting industry, and podcasting is a big thing with him, and different things like that. But when's the perfect time to start a podcast or start a media project? When's the perfect time?
Now.
Whenever you want.
Why do you say that?
Because you don't need a lot of equipment to do a podcast. If you have an iPhone and access to iTunes, you can.
But don't you have to
Yeah,
have the
because-
perfect idea? Don't you have to have
No.
the perfect before you
No.
ever?
you develop the idea as you go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have their own like ideas, and then it gradually evolves over time and becomes something that they perfected, and it's their own like certain thing that they're known for.
Listen, some of the best minds in the world are saying the same thing you're saying right now. Should you get better and better? Yes, absolutely. Should you put out quality stuff? Yes. When is the perfect time to start? It's right now. That's right. Because there's lots of people waiting for the perfect timing, the perfect idea, and there is no perfect timing. And there is no perfect idea until you start.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it becomes something.
Yeah, it's a trade. You have to practice it and develop it over time.
You,
I mean,
you
let's
learn
take-
through doing.
We can take David, for example.
Yes, please.
We said, hey, there's this company called Data Graphics that needs some help. And he hadn't really done much in TV production
I hadn't done
before
much.
then. And so we just go, here, have fun, bye.
Yeah, but I mean, over the year and a half that I spent in Lig's class, I did learn about composition. I just never applied it. And going to Data Graphics, filming their commercials, I applied it, and it just so happened that it worked.
He was good at it.
Yeah. Oops, I'm
And they
good at
said,
it.
Oops, I'm good at it. Yeah. Like I don't think Gabby really knew that she was, or even Bear for that matter, knew
Yeah.
that they were going to be good at this and be
I'm good at it.
in charge of so much stuff.
I used
Their
to be the
senior
kid
year.
who slept in the corner in the classroom.
You
and
still
since
are.
that
I
one
still
day-
sleep in the
Sometimes.
corner.
I still sleep.
I think all of
I
you
sleep
sometimes
right
sleep
here.
in the corner.
I sleep right there.
We're so worn out from doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
here.
and that is it. Media production or any kind of business actually that you are passionate about, you will end up sleeping on your desk, sleeping under your desk, sleeping in the corner of a room, because sometimes hours become vague because you're passionate.
Yeah.
And your job, Mr. Jeffreyons, when we talked to him, he said, I asked him about teaching. You remember what he said? I said,
Don't do
tell
it.
people, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Don't
He
do
did.
it.
So, yeah, tell us what he said about that. I said, what would you
yeah.
tell people that
We were
are
in on
wanting to
that one,
go,
weren't you?
thinking
Yeah,
about
I
whether or not
was
they
on
need to
that
go into
one.
teaching? What did he say?
He said, like, unless it's something you really want to do, like, don't do it. Because if you think about it, like, it's not worth the pay. But if it's something you're passionate about and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
willing to sacrifice things,
You
If you
remember his
ever,
if
phrase
you have
though?
the drive for that.
if you ever break down our salary hourly,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
If you're thinking about teaching, don't break it down because
Don't break
if
it
you
down.
really want to
Just
teach
look
anyway,
at
no
look
matter
at
what. right?
what you're supposed to do, and then
Right.
the math
Yeah.
looks okay.
You do so much unpaid work. You have to deal with so many
Right.
things.
But it's worth it
Yeah.
because you got people that you end up once they graduate and move on to college that they come back and
like Trent.
spending time with them, hanging out, and like Trent Shipton, yeah, he
Yeah,
comes in
Trent.
and he works with us
Yeah.
in here in the studio, helps us with tech stuff, and he's still around.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
here
just saw
yesterday.
Trent Tuesday and
He was here
you know,
yesterday.
Yeah, he
He's-
was.
because he's a guy that's working all the time, so you tend to run into him.
Yeah.
In places. Yeah.
I'm so thankful for Trent because he's given me a lot of opportunities in
Yeah.
recently, and
Hey,
it's
plug,
just nice
plug
having
for the
someone like
next
him
interview.
around.
Trent
Trent
Shipton.
Shipton.
Trent Shipton.
Yeah,
Hey.
we
There we
will.
go.
That's what we'll do. We'll
We'll get
set
in
him
here,
up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trent,
Now,
you're next.
what was that last thing we just said though
Teaching.
about?
About if it's not the amount of time you want to put in, don't do it. With Mr. Jeffrey on.
Giving stuff away. This is a big deal.
Oh.
Yes, Jeffrey Ons, he said basically teaching I think is the worst job you'll love to hate, or you'll hate to love or something like that because of all the hours and different things like that and hours you're not paid for. And he said that became his hobby basically. He said somebody said because he's at a class at UCF, hey, you need a hobby. He said, I think this is my hobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's my job and my hobby. So, giving things away. Big thing in podcast world that we found is that it's more important to give things away than it is to sell things. He said, you'll end up selling things, but first your audience needs to know that you care about them.
Yeah.
Your audience needs to know that you're not there just trying to take something from them. And that is, what do you guys think about that in life, period?
Well, I'm actually learning about the basics of that in economy right now, where at the beginning, there's going to be a dip in your profits, your marginal benefit, but as time goes, it'll get more worth it. So you take that hit in the beginning so that it'll work out in the long run.
And what is that hit? What's that hit called? I mean, give me an example. Give me any one of you. Are you?
The example is Doug. He doesn't know if this podcast is going to work out. He doesn't know if it's going to get views, but he puts in, we all put in the time and the effort to make it, and we go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now we got like 600 downloads, and there's more views, but they're like 600 plus downloads. And for that, well, pretty good. Well, I found out to get monetized, 20,000.
Oh,
Wow.
For them to start looking and going, okay, now we want to monetize you.
We're like 5% there.
Or yes. You
so
know.
I mean, but that's when you come out of your local setting to your more regional.
Right,
to the-
in world setting. I mean, everything
Exactly.
that we're doing here is as adaptable in other countries
Correct.
as it is here. And so we're looking at a world view. But locally, it's more important that we look at each other and help each other, because all of those people live in their own neighborhoods. And what we do here speaks to somebody in Australia. It speaks to somebody in Jamaica. It speaks to somebody in California, another country really. But anyway, it speaks to, and so, and that's what your topic is. Your topic is whatever you think you're the expert at. An expert is someone who knows more than the person they're talking to.
Yeah, but I'd
I don't
rather.
consider myself an expert. I just consider myself slightly dangerous.
And what do you mean by that? I know what you mean by that.
Well,
What's
I
all
mean,
that?
like master of none, jack of all trades. I mean, I'm master of none, but I can hang with anybody on
Yeah.
anything.
And I'd
What-
rather be talking to an expert than be the expert.
That's true. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Brand new thing that I just learned. I shouldn't have just learned. I think it's maybe in the last year, but it's really kind of nailed me recently. And that is never, if you're the smartest person in the room, change rooms,
Yeah.
because you're not learning anything. You know.
Yeah.
I guess I should turn off my mic and go.
That's right. You're the smartest person in the room. You better
just
go
kidding.
find somebody.
Oh,
You got
Find
us.
another room right now. So tell me what you thought this whole process was going to be, and you know, this is a discussion here, and just kind of
all right, you ready?
talking. So, what did you think it was going to
Okay.
be? And
I
then
thought.
we'll go to where it is.
Here's where I thought. I thought, this is in all honesty,
All right.
we're going to get a couple interviews and it's going to fizzle and die. I mean, in all honesty.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's come to the point where people keep coming in and bigger names keep showing up and more downloads, and it's starting to build. So what I thought, being the ever pessimist, that we were going to get a couple in, it was going to be fun, a good learning experience, and
Now it's turned into
Like a
whole
couple
senior
months
year.
later, still doing it.
yeah, we're still doing it.
And like everything had started in the small studio and with the boom mic and all, and now we're just all involved with all this stuff out now.
Yeah. Lots of improvement in quality, definitely.
Yeah, the first like couple months, me and Dave were doing it. We were kind of like just lost, and like the audio and like quality wasn't as good as it is now.
Yeah. We were a little frustrated because
we were.
we wanted it to
be
be
so much
something
better,
better, and
yeah.
we really just had to be patient, I guess.
Yeah, takes time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
blossom something.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I was talking to Jay Strack. He's on one of the interviews
Yep.
that you've edited, so you guys may not have heard. Well, y'all have because you've been in the studio.
we've heard.
And the one thing Jay said, and I think it's in one of the interviews, I know it was when I interviewed him, he said this. He said, and he was talking on a God level because he deals with Worldwide Student Leadership University, which is a Judeo-Christian thing, that sort of thing. So one thing he said, where God leads, he provides. Well, you see that in the secular world too, that when something is quality, people start wanting to be a part of it. They want to give money to it because they don't want it to end. And for this project, we've been given around $1,000. Well, that's not much, but I never asked for it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, now we need 10,000. But I mean, you know, but they spoiled us, right? Anyway.
You gotta start somewhere.
That's right. That's right. So when good things happen, people do start jumping on board. What about when you hit a wall? Have we hit a wall at all? Have you hit a wall with some of this stuff at all?
We, I mean, we like said, we were expecting to, but we just didn't.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're here. That's why we're keeping.
Every
keeping
once in a
on.
while, I'll walk into the edit suite, and they're banging their heads on the desk. They're like, "Oh, we're finished Doug's video."
That's just rebooting.
Start another one.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Gotta
Nope.
reset the
Start
brain.
another one.
Yeah.
I got to do another one.
Oh yeah, finished one. Time for the other one.
Yeah, exactly. But it's constant work.
Yeah.
But they're doing that in between doing all the other stuff,
Yeah.
and so
There's a lot of stuff going on. It's always something to do here.
yeah, and we're trying to get everybody to realize
Yeah.
that, getting everybody to realize that, getting everybody on board to realize there's always something to
Always
do.
something going on.
Volunteers, full-time youth pastors, full-time teachers, full-time educators, coaches, wherever you want to go with some of these things. The process never, you're always busy.
Yeah, and one thing that applies here and it applies everywhere else you volunteer, there will be a lot of people, but not a lot of people doing it right. And so if you want to do it right, you got to do it yourself, and that's what we've learned. That's why we're the ones doing this still. We've tried to have other people join in, but like I said, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, yourself with a team. And I do correct that because I
Ex-
used to be the
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
that you were brought up, hey, if you want to do it right, do it yourself. And then we found out in business that if you want to do it right, you find somebody better than you to do it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with
Just
that.
like
definitely.
I'm a sound guy, I do all that stuff, but I didn't understand that board. If I ain't giving
Right.
it to you, I'd still be trying to figure it out.
Left to
You
right.
know, and you've got, and part of that's you got to get rid of pride when
Oh,
you
yeah.
grow something, so that you can say, okay, wait a minute, Bear's better than me at this. He's better at being a bear than I am. So
Yeah.
you know, and
You gotta
Definitely.
find people that compliment you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely, and they do. So 5 minutes left on that. Doesn't matter to me if that may go out. Youth Worker Nation, we got a couple more here, but tell us people that want to start. I mean, everybody doesn't have you guys, and I hope I'm the only one. Nobody else can have you.
Oh.
So anyway, but
tell Paul.
doing projects like this.
tell Paul.
But
Don't tell
so
Paul.
this one will only go to New Zealand and Australia. So if you want to travel,
Paul, for
they
listening,
may
you can
hire
do
you there.
anything.
But so tell me, tell Youth Worker Nation, what, how can they do something like this? And should they do something at this level? Our thing is, podcasts are normally audio. We're doing audio video.
Yeah,
And so,
releasing the audio first, then eventually bringing in the
on
video.
YouTube
Right.
later, right?
yeah, and so tell Youth Worker Nation or what they could do if they want to do this. Do they have to have a team like you? And if
No,
they want to have a
absolutely
team
not.
like you, how
Well,
could they do that?
I mean, you could start off by yourself, but like with expansion, it'd be pretty good to like have a team that helps support you and stay organized and such. Like if you look at the big like huge podcasters, they always have like a huge staff and they're always like on time with everything. They have a good organized schedule. They have good crew, and then that's what helps make them successful. But I mean, you could start off slow and by yourself, but eventually over time, it'd be a wise idea to team up.
Yeah. Where do they find what, you guys want to say anything else about that?
No, I mean that was
Yeah,
that was
that-
very well said. I mean,
Yeah.
it's when you want to start something, all you have to have is that basic idea,
Mhm.
and then technology is such now that they just purchased less than $2,000 worth of equipment for somebody in one of the front office.
Yeah.
And it's
The podcast
it's
setup.
literally made by Podcaster, and you put an iPad into it, it mounts on the tripod, it comes with a microphone, a light, and a chroma key background.
Oh wow.
And there it is, everything,
sick.
and you can edit right on the iPad. It's done.
Yeah.
So under $2,000, you're getting enough equipment to get going.
The number one podcaster, EO Fire, John Lee Dumas, computer, microphone, headset, and Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And
yeah,
he's
they
7
can't
days a
get 'em.
week, and he's 7 figures. He's over, I think he's like 6 figures a month, 7 figures. He's in the millions now.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's all it takes. Then you got other guys like you're talking about that have doing what we're doing. They're doing both. They're trying to hit both markets in that way.
It's tough
So-
hitting both. Sometimes, I mean,
Yeah. Sometimes
My
you're
mom
limited.
always said I had a face for radio. So trying to do both.
I absolutely have.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
have these pretty people on, right?
Right, yeah. People that compliment us.
That's right.
Even
Zoom in
out
on
the
them.
Good looks.
Yeah. Make the nose smaller.
That's not
right.
possible.
No, it's true. We always have fun. That's the biggest thing. Is
Yeah.
we can sit here and joke around, but we have fun.
Yeah.
I'm the teacher, but if I'm not going to sit here and have fun, I'm not going to want to come back and do this every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wanting to do it every day, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You can't stop
Mhm.
once you start going. That's the trick. Is you have the idea, you can start moving forward.
But you
A lot of
can't
people
stop.
fizzle.
Yeah.
Like I said,
They'll
Yeah.
just give
that's what
up.
we've dealt with, and a lot of times stuff fizzles. That's what we deal with.
Yeah, a lot of people will get frustrated and they'll want to
that.
quit if something gets tough or like something's stopping them from moving forward. But you just gotta fight through it, and then when you get past it, you'll be glad you fought through it.
So tell me, let's project for a second. Tell me, we're going to start with our
Oh,
lady
boy.
first with Gabby,
President.
unless she
Okay.
bypasses, says no, come back to me or something. But let's project where you think, not me, where you think, just in your imagination, where this will be in a year. 1 year, 2 year, 5 years.
Dave, yeah.
Okay.
Go first.
Well, it really depends.
Well, it doesn't have to be numbers. Just what do you envision? What does it look like?
Honestly,
What does it look like?
It doesn't matter how good or bad something is, because if you look on the internet, people have a really great following, but it's not because of what they have. It's just because that they've worked really hard. So it just depends on how hard
We plan on working
we
for next
we
year.
work in the next year.
Well, so if we work hard, then where's it going to be? What's it going to be?
Then it'll just keep growing. I don't know how to guess the numbers, but I think I really have no clue.
Yeah.
I mean, if we,
no, I have no
okay, so
clue.
if you look at, we're at 600 right now.
Yeah.
And it
Base
would have been
number.
a couple months, 4 or 5 months since
Yeah,
we started.
and so it's going to grow, and it's going to grow more. And like I said, if you keep going,
Yeah, if you keep on going, it's not going to plateau.
yeah, because a lot of people watch it. I'll come back to
Yeah.
it, and when they come back to it, it's still there, and there's more interesting people, and we get bigger.
They'll stick around.
And the biggest thing is you guys have to train your replacements.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that now.
No, we haven't.
Okay, good.
We
Just
haven't
checking.
forgot.
We haven't trained.
And
yet.
so I think in a year, with more kids that are going to keep it going, it's going to grow. I don't see it stopping. And
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, everyone has their own fan base, so I mean, you'll grow to your own fan base, and it's hard to judge where like that fan base limit is. But you'll get there. Like, I'm actually surprised. We've started out small, like I didn't know how far this was gonna go. I didn't think it was gonna like last that long, but you surprised me with all these getting these great views, these downloads, and it's only been a couple months, and you're already over 600. So I think like in a couple of years, you'll be up there pretty good. Maybe top 100, top 50.
Oh yeah, I remember David and I
Making
were
money is what the biggest thing.
discouraged
Come
one
on,
day.
people. Come on.
And listen, and you have to make money in order to keep going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and when you make money, you can do it full time, and that's
Yes.
where we want to go, so that you're able to, like right now, we're able to do
Like one
a
2
week, and and listen, and then my buddy who's just does the audio from Bright House, Mike Helms, it's all he can do to get the audio from you through me or whatever, and to get it ready to go into iTunes and Google Play and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my son hasn't even got Ryan with the 808 up in Charlotte, the videos so that we can upload. Either we're going to upload, we're going to upload it privately somewhere to YouTube so he can tweak it, and because he is the expert in my world in social media. And so I don't even touch my social media on Youth Worker Nation. He's behind some on it, but I know that if I put some things on it and he goes, don't do that.
There you go.
Okay, take it off. And so you're part of a bigger team. It's not just this team. Our team is people you don't know, and when you grow, the great thing is that you won't know your entire team. And that's okay. The reason it's okay is sometimes the project should always be bigger than you and me. It should be bigger than me. If anything happens to me and I stop doing this project if it's really reaching people, could take over another personality,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
you know. And so, any other comments, any other thoughts?
No, I mean, I think the opportunities the kids get to work with people coming in, that's really where it's good for us to see the different type of people that want to come in and speak with you, to set up all the equipment each time. It's great practice and it's great learning. So thank you for that.
Okay, it's good,
Yeah.
great learning for me, and you guys are invaluable. I mean, just
One of the reasons why we
Can't thank you enough.
learn so much from it is because we make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
You can't learn
Yeah.
Can't learn
without making the mistakes
yeah.
first. And so this is not a perfect podcast.
Oh,
Like letting Quan dress his own mic.
And
what?
Gabby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss Velez.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had some
Yeah.
problems with, remember that.
Microphone flop.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
dressed
We've
quite right.
learned
Right.
So, that's how we learn.
Yeah.
from mistakes.
That's
Like
like,
the mistakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect things are built out of failures and getting up quickly. And failures are good. There is no growing without failure.
No.
And this is an environment, this is a laboratory. And the greatest, and here's what some of the greatest organizations are saying, the reason we're growing is because we've had 99 failures and you hear about the one we got right and we write a book about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so everybody thinks that's all we do. So this is perfect because this is how all of life should be, the freedom to experiment, the freedom to grow. Okay? So guys, thank you so much.
Thanks,
And
Ed.
Thank you.
we'll have another one of these maybe in 3-4 months and see where we are from there, okay?
All right.
We're all going to look haggard by then.
601 down.
I
haven't
Yeah.
slept in 2 weeks now.
I took about 2 days ago.
All right, Youth Worker Nation, thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Hopefully this helps. See you next time.
Bye.